Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. Today's article has to do with the disunity of the Western Alliance, and I've been talking about this for about 2 or 3 days already. And I said there are big cracks in their unity, and the so-called alliance, economic and military alliance, seems to show. Um, Disagreements, and the disagreements started to show when the Ukrainians, not the Ukrainians, the president of Ukraine, hysterically asking United States or Western countries for more lethal weapons with long coverage, like long range missiles and so on, so they can probably hit areas in Russia. And these countries refuse to do that because they know better. They know that once they do that, the Russians already said, who provides that kind of weapons, we will hit them. And I think for once they take that seriously. That's one thing. The other thing is the embargo that doesn't go as planned on oil and gas from Russia. And again, Zelensky's hysterically asks for the Western countries to provide an embargo and more sanctions on Russia and blah 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 blah. That's another one. And the third one is the voices coming from the West saying that maybe Ukraine should start negotiating, and maybe it's going to have to give up some of its territory. That obviously the Russians do not consider it being Ukrainian territory, but nevertheless, I have an article here that confirms exactly this, and it's coming from Wall Street Journal from today, and the title is "Cracks Appear in Western Front Against Russia's War in Ukraine," and the article is by Bojan Panchevsky, Panchevsky, let's make it Polish, and then Drew Hinshaw. And they say that cracks are appearing in the Western Front against Moscow, with America's European allies increasingly split over whether to keep shipping more powerful weapons to Ukraine, which some of them fear could prolong the conflict and increase economic fallout. That's one thing. And then it keeps saying about the fact that the Germans provided some military help, but not what exactly other countries wanted. Now, the article talks about, I would say 3 countries. I know it's 4 countries, but I would say 2 countries, not 4. I want to say 2. And I'm going to use the Baltic states, the 3 Baltic states, as one country, since they all together make up 5 million people. And I will take the other one, Poland. You have to understand that Poland and Ukraine and Russia, they're not friendly. They were never friends, and that's the way it goes. On top of this, Poland claims some territories in Poland in Ukraine, but nevertheless, put at the side, Poland always wants territories from anybody else. And Poland has territories from Germany, for instance, and has from other territories as well. That's why they are so friendly with all the neighbors. So you have these countries, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, and Poland, who could be wiped by Russia maybe, I don't know, in 2 weeks or so. I mean, Estonia and Baltic states, which I consider one country, because they speak the same, they could be wiped in what? If the Russians get angry with them. But the problem is this. These 2 countries, Baltic states, the 3, plus 1, I would say 2 countries, they have big mouths. But they just bark. They bark the loudest. And they say, hey, the Russians will invade. The Russians will do this. We'll go to the end of Europe, to the Atlantic. They are the only ones that yell this loudly. And they are so loud, not because they are strong on their own. They are strong because they have other people backing them and feeling strong. Otherwise, what prevents them to go straight and help Ukraine? Straight. With weapons, not only with weapons, with military assistance, with personnel. Just go in, man. Just go in. But Poland, say, nah, And we are part of NATO. The same thing with the Baltics. They are part of NATO. We can't do this, otherwise we would go and kick some butt over there with those Ruskies. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm pretty sure a lot of Russians think about Poland and the Baltic states in a way that I hope, I hope, that's what I probably think. We hope that they do something stupid, so they have a reason to go and do this again to them. But nevertheless, this unity seems to be fueled by some hysterical barking from these two entities, Baltic states and Poland, and Zelensky and his acolytes over there. I haven't seen Great Britain barking too loud lately. I don't know what's going on over there. Neither does Germany or France. Italy. I haven't found anything, but maybe you guys should start talking to Putin. That's the line I'm hearing over there. I'm not hearing anything like, oh, let's go, let's give more. Why? Because it's already what? June almost, right? So maybe June, July, August. And what's after that? It's going to be cold weather. So what's going to happen when cold weather kicks in? You need some energy. And when do you get the energy? So in 3 months, the Western Europe and these little entities must acquire some energy from somewhere for the winter. So these guys are thinking, if we can't do something in the next 1 or 2 months, and it seems like the whole thing is collapsing because the Russians are taking lands one by one in towns, they are more, how should I put it, their pathos waned away. I don't think they had pathos because they think differently. These guys think differently. It's not the pathos. It was the interest. What do we do? All right, we play a little bit of morality here at our, some virtue signaling here, and then with other people's lives, obviously, we just give our whatever we don't need. We give them some money, but we don't give them because they have to pay it back. We don't give them, okay, this is your money, you keep it forever. No, it's with interest. The aid is a loan. It's not, oh, this is the money. Forget about the $40 million. American public has money, gives it to you. No, you're gonna give that back in time with interest. So they realize, probably the Ukrainians know that too. We're gonna lose this. The Russians are achieving their little goals one by one. Not to conquer Europe, that was not the goal. Not to conquer Kiev, that was not the goal. They made it a goal. The Western mass media made it as, oh, look, they couldn't conquer Kiev. Ha 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 ha. The Russians are losing. Oh, they didn't conquer Ukraine yet. Ah, they're losing. Never the goal. Was never the goal. We know exactly what the Russians' goal were in Ukraine, and they're moving slowly, and they're accomplishing them. They're slower, possibly, but no, better later than never. Correct? So yes, the cracks, and one time these guys have to accept that that's it. That's it. What are we gonna do? Are we gonna supply Ukraine with more advanced weapons? The Russians are gonna hit you. They're gonna hit you. Because they know that if they're supplied, the Ukrainians are supplied with more performant and long-range rockets or missiles or whatever, then the casualties in Russia could occur. And what casualties? They're going to hit cities, not going to hit military units. So once that happens, I think Russians will go as they already say, total war. They didn't go total war right now. Total war would be just staying and pushing buttons and send rockets and flatten cities. They didn't do that. So, and nevertheless, and why are they fighting in cities? Because where the Ukrainian army is not in the fields. It's not as Kursk, as I said before, the tanks in the fields. Let's see who's stronger. No, they ran into cities and say, "We're here. Come and get us. We defend the cities from within the city." And they say, "Oh, look, they're shooting in our cities. That's a war crime." But what is your army doing in a city? Come and fight with the bulls face to face. Oh, no, 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 no. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, I suspect this thing is going to be done by, as I said, I would be surprised if it lingers until September. Not even September. I would give it maybe a month at the most, because right now there's something that it's collapsing over there in the front. I think the Russians are winning, are circling, and but I'm not going to discuss this because I let others talk about that. because, you know, all kind of news are coming, and then the next day is a different news. So I don't like talking about those kind of things. Like, oh, the Russians encircled I don't know, the battalion 4359, and then the next day you find, no, actually they were not surrounded, and there you have, I come and tell you, right, that. No, I don't like doing that. Why? Because they all lie. They all lie regarding these achievements or lack of. I don't like to lie. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.